Back again with another Battlefield 2042 video, this time a brief discussion focusing on the single player campaign, or more specifically the lack of one with this title. 2042 is the first Battlefield since I think it was 1943, the game, not the year, that has released without a full single player campaign experience, and 1943 was a bit of a spin-off title that came out 13 years ago, so yeah, it's been a minute since one has been missing until now. There's already been much debate about this, but I thought it was worth revisiting because, well, why not? Should Battlefield 2042 have had a campaign? No. But also, maybe? Let's discuss, and if you find yourself enjoying the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Battlefield content. Let's hit it. Hindsight is 2020, and looking at where we were at launch and where we are now with 2042, I'm not confident at all that a single player experience built with the time frame, tools, and experience, what I call new DICE, would have been captivating or excellent in any way. Now that's a bit harsh, but can you imagine if the team was even more stretched thin than they already were? If resources were also being devoted to a campaign in addition to the content we had at launch? I mean, would there have been even less guns somehow, or less finished maps, or worse stability and performance? I don't know. With the team seemingly not even able to take on multiplayer only modes, and even outsourcing some of those modes to other studios like Ripple Effect, I highly doubt they could have taken a single player campaign on their plate as well. Of course, the reasoning why a campaign wasn't present in the game was obfuscated behind PR speak of the teams hyper-focusing on multiplayer and creating the biggest Battlefield ever and love letter to the fans and yada yada yada, but let's be real, it came down to the bottom line as it always does. Cutting the animations, voice acting, writing, assets, and dev time required to do a campaign must have saved EA DICE lots and lots of money. And I'll be honest, I wasn't really that disappointed when they announced 2042 wouldn't have a campaign. I never really thought Battlefield campaigns were that great. Honestly, Battlefield 1 probably had my favorites with the war stories, although of course I've heard the first Bad Company had a good one with fun characters. I actually haven't played that one, but I found Bad Company 2's actually a bit boring, and all of them are really eh. Battlefield 3 wasn't bad, but it was trying way too hard to capture some of the COD or Black Ops style of campaign with the narrative choices and overall structure. It was absolutely gorgeous though, as was Battlefield 4's campaign, but Battlefield 4 also had one of the absolute worst at linear, forced gameplay that was so present in shooters of that time, holding your hand and just absolutely railroading you to do exactly what it wanted you to do, which is antithetical to the gameplay of Battlefield for me. It also didn't help I found the story really irritating, with obnoxious squad mates, and playing as a mute squad leader, yes, I'll repeat that, a mute squad leader, a leader who did not speak at all, was just laughable. So given all this history, again, I wasn't really that disappointed because I did truly believe that time would be better spent perfecting and polishing the multiplayer experience, and now, honestly, I'm just angry about it. I'm not upset that the campaign was cut, I'm upset because there's absolutely nothing to show for it other than a lack of additional content. The supposed focus and additional time devoted to multiplayer did not pay off at all on release, and we all know how abysmally small the trickle of new content coming in now is as well. So really, we lost it for, well, nothing. However, given all of that, I can't help but be disappointed with the lack of meaningful narrative for 2042 because I do genuinely think they nailed the backstory and setting for this title. In fact, I'll even say that 2042 had the potential to have the best story in the entire franchise. No pats are a little out there, but honestly, the setup for this game is not far-fetched and is really intriguing to me. We saw hints of it during the Exodus short film with Irish, RIP Michael Williams, an absolute legend, and it looked epic, with a dark, moody atmosphere, end-of-world vibes, and just an overall grittiness that could have lended itself really well to a mature and engaging campaign. Also, I'm not really sure if they were supposed to do a series of these trailers, but it is funny how they completely dropped these story trailers because the game failed so spectacularly. But instead of all this dark, grim, and grittiness, we got...
That was something, right?
Well, at least that's no longer here. Goofy characters smiling, joking, laughing as they enter battle, and silly uniforms was the exact opposite of the dark desperation of this conflict that we've been told about and seen prior to release. So yes, while I'm not entirely sad a campaign was not part of 2042 given the state of really everything, I am let down that we haven't seen meaningful development of this story's potential. I know a Battlefield 7 is in development, and I'd honestly be really surprised if it's a continuation of 2042's setting. I could easily see them just kind of cutting their ties here, going back to a modern 2020-ish setting like Battlefield 4 in an attempt to soft reboot the entire series, which is kind of funny because that's the game that 2042 was supposed to be. But let me know your thoughts on the idea of a 2042 campaign in the comments, whether we should have had one or not, or what you think is in store for the future of the franchise. That's it for me today, until next time.